Good evening, all. Time is now 7 o'clock. This Cicero Town Council staff meeting is now in session.
Joe Cox.
Present.
Jake Better.
Present.
Dennis Johnson.
Present.
Eric Hayden.
Present.
Alan Pearson. Present. Sorry, President, I jumped the gun.
It's quite all right.
So yours is
Mine was up way high.
So,
Mine was all the way
there's a dump button. Is that mic up there on?
I think you just heard the recording.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Moving along to the first agenda item, which is town council talking about boat docks.
So I asked Mr. Hunter again about our courtesy boat docks on the east side. So he went out and got a new quote, and the quote for 4 additional spaces is $28,450. And we would need to, I think, from my perspective, I am tired of messing with this. I would like to ask him to go speak to the.
Okay, I would be more than willing to do that and reach out as early as tomorrow and try to make contact and get that started. But if, with your blessing, I'd like to ask either Dennis or Dan to maybe go along with me, just so we can make sure I convey all the pertinent pieces and I don't leave anything out, and we both have a better understanding of it.
If you need both of them, please take both of them, or if you just want one over the other.
As long as they pay for themselves.
Okay.
Can you guys go to McDonald's?
Seriously. Let's keep it reasonable.
I've got coupons for
She's
White
pushy
Castle.
like that.
I know.
So thank you, Mr. Hunter,
Thank
for
you.
that.
Okay, do what you need to do. Moving along, NRG cleanup.
Yeah, so I can answer if you want. We, so the Parks Department, Mr. Hunter and I had another discussion. The Parks Department is willing to do some cleanup of that location. Once that is finalized, we just need to let him know, as long as it's in this time of year and they're not busy doing other things, he's more than happy to help do that work.
You talking about like the bush logging of it and all that?
Just make it respectable. So I said we collectively needed to discuss that, and
I drove by today and actually had that in my mind that needed done, so I'm all for it.
So just a clarification, I'd rather start sooner than later before we get real busy, and now's a good time. There's lots of trees and saplings and things that need to be cut down on the entire property. There's lots of things growing in the fence rows that need to be cleaned out. But what I'd like to also ask for is your blessing to take that fence out, which is very old and dilapidated and in terrible shape.
You talking about the whole perimeter?
When the time comes, yeah, because it doesn't go, it just basically goes down one side
Okay.
between the library, and it's in really poor condition, and the trees have been growing for years and years up through it. It'd just be so much easier to just take it all down, clean it all up, and get some grass seed and fertilizer out there and get it going properly. Now, what I would do is come up with some type of a gate at the appropriate time to put a gate back up at the entrance there at Britton Street to keep cars and stuff out of there. And maybe even at some point in the future, put those 6x6 wood posts in like I have along the front of the park to keep golf carts and other things out of there. But I just think it would go a long way toward cleaning the whole property up and getting it done. And as soon as we can, before spring hits and everything starts to grow, would be the appropriate time to do a lot of that work.
so as soon as we close on that property, we need to let him know. I would ask one thing, when removing anything, I think probably run it by Mr. Culp to see if there's anything
Right.
special.
I definitely want to have an initial meeting and review what we're allowed to do and not to do.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So Mr. Hunter, there's gonna be, I don't remember what to call it, a soil management plan, so
Right.
we gotta make sure you're fully apprised of that, so
Right.
any digging or whatever.
I know most of it now.
Okay, good.
But I need to get myself more up to speed on it. But
Yeah.
if we do close on that in the near future, I don't want to wait till May and
Absolutely.
try to tackle the challenges then when we're trying to keep up with everything else. And I assume that am I to assume that the role you want the parks to take is to keep that property mowed and maintained throughout the summer?
Yes, please.
I kind of figured that would be the case, I just don't want to assume something without having that conversation.
And then we're expected to close at the end of this month or start of February, is that correct?
I don't know, I haven't got a date yet.
Mr. Strong, do we have any date for that yet? Closing on NRG?
No, sir, we don't have a date yet, but we should be getting close to knowing when that will be. I think the intent is still try to potentially have it done yet this month, if not early in February.
Okay.
If I hear, you'll hear.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Hunter, is it premature to talk about any other uses? I know we briefly talked about maybe some ancillary parking. I mean, do you want to talk about any of that now or later?
I think for right now, I just want to focus on getting the property cleaned up and maintained and have those conversations down the road about how we utilize it.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm very excited to see what that's going to look like this summer.
Hey, thank you.
Moving along to the IT contract. This IT contract, this is the contract proposed by former Chief Lance Overholser to handle the IT portion of just this setup here in Town Hall, as he was the originator of this. Emily, can you explain a little bit about how that works?
Unfortunately, I left my copy out in the car, but yes, it would just, thank you. It would just basically be simple things. It wouldn't be the IT for all of us. It would be problems with the computers. I know Terry and I both had a problem last month, I believe, and he was able to fix it pretty quickly and that kind of thing.
And he's willing to do it on the hour, essentially, instead of
I think in here he even
Does break it
knocks it
down.
down for like
Half hour,
15 minutes.
15 minutes, technically.
okay. So we're not
So-
taking on the full amount.
No, no, and it's cheaper. It's $60 an hour, $100 on after hours and weekends, emergency same day, $100 an hour, and traveling outside the service radius, $60 an hour. So it's not an outlandish.
And this wouldn't affect our current IT guys.
That's my
No.
understanding.
Everything else, so this is strictly for the
This
setup he was
and-
involved in.
Yep.
Okay.
So I think, any issues that come in, we should give our IT guy first stab at it. And then if there's consulting, I think we should reach out.
I'm okay, if it's here, Lance is very, very familiar with this, he set it all up, this and Red Bridge, I'm not opposed to that one bit.
Yeah.
He's cheaper, he's half the cost, he knows this system.
Okay. You're happy, I'm happy.
I'm happy.
Jay,
Yeah, no problem.
good, Dennis?
So do we,
I'm good with that. We'll need to vote on it Tuesday.
okay.
I'll add it to the agenda.
Okay.
And okay.
Would you like to look at?
Oh, I have a copy.
I-
I just forgot. I
Mhm.
haven't seen it for a while.
All right, good there? Moving along, plan inspection costs, Mr. Zawadzki.
Good evening, council. It's not that big of a deal, it's just something I wanted to run by you guys, make sure you know. Our long-term inspector, Rod Benefiel, after 4 years of being spoiled, he finally raised his rates on us. So up to, it's still well below market value. Went from $75 an inspection to $135 inspection. So we went ahead and signed the contract. He's done great work for us. It's well within my budget. Just want to make sure you all knew what's going on.
That's per trip or per?
That's per inspection.
Okay.
Is
So,
that paid
so
for?
if he goes out to do an electrical inspection, that's 135. So a complete project is, assuming everything passes first time, is what?
So it would, well, depends on the project, but
Okay, building a new home.
still depends on the project. But let's just say that there's 5. It would be 5 times $135.
Is that absorbed, do we eat that fully, or is it absorbed by the builder eventually?
Wait, say that again?
We charge, what's the, so to
We-
build a home, what's the cost?
So for a new home, it's $520. Is that what you're asking? And then we charge for per footage and then for a certificate of occupancy. So a 2,000 square foot home is $750, $800 permit.
What I was asking is that $135 pass along from a cost?
Well, we only do it when I'm out of town or,
Oh, this is supplemental.
yeah. Sorry, I probably should have made that
makes
clear.
more sense.
Yeah, I do 95% of these, and if I'm out of town or I got other stuff going on, I'll call Rod and he's jumps right over there, sends us a bill, super.
Okay, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, sorry about that. I probably should have told you that. So,
Whatever.
okay, cool, thanks. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving along. Mr. Frazier, I assume this is you now. Yes. EMS billing regs.
Thank you for speaking last night also.
Oh, no problem. Glad to do it.
You're going
Um,
viral.
What's that?
You're going viral.
Oh, I am. Where at?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Is that like on
That's
Cicero
what the
Chatter or
fire chief
something?
went down.
Do you guys have the rates, or do you need me to give you a copy?
Do you have
It's the same ones as before. I have some copies if you want one. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what you emailed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, we had talked about it early in the year. I just want to bring it up, or last year was discussed. I want to bring it up this year. It's just a question, the same question we had before. It's if the council's interested in doing this. We look at it. It looks like it's going to increase about $80,000 into the non-reverting fund if we do this a year. So it is an increase.
Sorry, what was the increase?
About $80,000 is what we were estimating through Medville, our provider. And I sent you guys I know one of the questions was a write-off policy. You guys all got to see the write-off policy. I sent that. So we have the ability to take care of anybody who has need. Even if it comes down to all the other fail-safes we put in place, we still reserve the right to, we can write it off. So that's still up to us at the end if there's an issue or anything like that.
Okay. And your document, it says new rates, that's the new statute, right?
Yes, that's what it would be, yes.
That's the maximum.
Yes,
allowed.
yeah. This gets more in line with what the state has approved.
And my biggest issue was not insured.
And I don't know if we talked about this with you guys. The way the company we used does their determination of ability to pay is, so the hospitals, when we take someone, if we transport, we're taking them to a hospital, right? Well, that hospital, then they do financial analysis on the patient. When that happens, they can take that financial analysis and they bring it back to us. And if the hospital says, hey, we've determined you can only pay 75% of your bill, that's what we determine we will accept, is whatever the hospital says they're capable of paying. So the hospitals are able to do deep dives into their financials and actually to see if a person's capable of paying. If they're not, if the hospital came back and said, hey, this person can't pay the 0%, then we take 0. That's kind of how the process works to determine pay.
Gotcha.
Can you define what specialty care is?
Christian, did you say what that transport would be?
Well, specialty care, current rate is $1,600, new rate's $34.15. I'm just trying to understand what it is. That seems to be the biggest.
The biggest thing, from what I understand, most of that's usually a transfer cost, isn't it? Like, especially care from a person from a facility to another that has a special need or something to that effect.
Could be, I'm not sure what you label that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, but we don't do that. I mean, even if we were to get called down, we've been called down a handful of times to do every facility transfers from like Noblesville, 286th Street. Noblesville will usually disregard us, so they'll put a special ambulance that they don't have currently in service, and they'll take a company and put it on that truck to get that transferred. So I'm assuming that's what that is. It's a very seldom occurrence that could happen for us.
Yeah, I think, for example, like Riley's has a special ambulance that they do a lot of transports or special needs care or things like that. And they specifically do those kind of runs. I don't think that we probably really do much of that.
No,
at
I
all.
guess it's just a placeholder if we ever had to bill for something like that, but the likelihood of us doing it is slim to
Would you mind confirming that before we vote?
Yeah,
on
we can find
Tuesday?
out about it. Yep. I'll get you a
Thank you.
definition of it and exactly what it, actually like what kind of runs it entails
Yeah,
and what it
please.
means.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem.
Is this terminology like that category, I mean, does that come from statute?
Yeah, so the statute is all encompassing, so this is the state statute, and so
Yeah.
all the possibilities, so I mean,
Right.
they're,
okay.
they may be talking about things that we don't even
Right.
do in here, you know.
Any additional questions?
Nope.
We'll see what Copilot has to say.
Add this to the agenda?
Yes, please. So I was trying to spit out.
I thought you
Just
might.
wouldn't come.
And just so you know, because we have a holiday Monday, I have to post the agenda 48 hours in advance. So these will be amendments when we do because it's already posted because it has to be 48 hours. Monday's holiday, so you can't count Monday. So it's already posted, but I'll amend this at the council meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Mr. Redmauer. Police additional appropriations.
Thank you very much. So what I'm looking for is we're going to try and update about 5 of our AEDs that we carry in all of our cars. And in the process of doing some research on funding, found out that we could use some of the opioid money that the town was issued in
We can.
24, I think.
Mhm.
There's a line item or an unrestricted fund of over $7,000 in it. What I'm looking for is approximately $6,500, and that would get us 5 new AEDs, replace a couple batteries on our existing ones, and some new pads.
Rhonda, have you ever been asked for additional appropriation the first 2 weeks of the year?
No, but
You're first.
but actually we always do them at the end of the year, see where we land. However, this is a new, so they got really tight controls on it. And so we talked to Mr. Culp and he said it has to be appropriated before it can be spent. So that's why we're doing it first.
All right, well, congratulations.
So
on
I'm
the
asking
pioneer.
for your consent to see if I could do it.
Anybody?
Have we been using that fund? Is it just
Not
kind
at
of
all.
sitting there?
We haven't used it at all. We tried giving it away and to the Hope Clinic, they didn't want
I mean,
it.
they're limited in what they can
Yeah.
use that
Yes.
fund for, and if this is a valid use.
It is.
So the total fund was for 21,763, and there's 2 different line items. I think it kind of split it 50-50. One is very restricted, it has to be like toward something to do with opioid
Yes.
rehab and treatments and things like that. The other one's kind of unrestricted. When we were looking, some people were buying dog food out of it for their canine and things like that. So that's when I got a hold of Rhonda to see if, and did see on there where people were buying AEDs. And I got a hold of Rhonda, and then that's when we got a hold of Aaron, or she got a hold of Aaron. And it's just upgrade. I think we got 5 older AEDs, and this will give us all the same. Every car will have the same type of AED, so it's more consistency with, depending on what car you got, you should be very familiar with them. Another part, what we did, instead of buying brand new, you can buy reconditioned. A brand new one costs like $2,200 a piece. You can buy reconditioned ones for right at $1,000, and then get a 4-year warranty for an extra $100. So that's what I was looking to do there.
You buying some supplies, you said too?
I'm sorry?
So you're buying some supplies like pads?
Yeah, it'd be so one of our it's $500. It's $500 for a battery for 1 unit, and we got 1 unit that needs a new battery, and then the pad that you put on the patient expire. They have expiration dates, and we gotta get a couple of those.
Well, I'm just thinking, you're just gonna spend most of it, and we're not using it. I'd almost be inclined to just empty the fund. But I don't want you to buy stuff that's gonna expire either, but if
Yeah,
it's.
that's the problem with those pads.
Yeah.
I think
But if you think
maybe.
you can empty it, I'd be fine emptying it, because we're not using it.
All right.
I think when I'm done, there'll be approximately 1,500, somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 left over in that fund.
I'm fine with spending 65.
All right.
Good use of the money.
Is it just a
No.
consensus?
Yeah, consensus.
How much did you say was in that?
I got 70, oh no,
I got
89.72.
7,346. You got that?
I do.
89.72?
$8,972. We got some revenue.
Okay, like I said, what I seen was 7,300.
So it was 7346, that
Yeah.
was beginning balance, and
Okay.
the end is, so yeah, we can take about 7,000 out of there.
But like I said, mine should be about 6,500, if that.
You've already given us the numbers. We're good?
Well, good, thank you.
Thank you. All right, water, wastewater, we have nothing?
Yep, do you want to discuss the mirrors? That's up to totally up to you.
I guess you do fall under that, don't you? Let's talk about
We
mirrors.
just didn't have streets in
Yeah.
I've got some handouts.
Great, great.
Get the paper.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Joe had, citizens that had a concern about the intersection of, Washington and Jackson, about pulling out when there is, cars parked at the,
I don't know if anybody's ever done that, trying to turn left off of Washington on the
Yes.
to Jackson. If there's
There's
cars in the
funeral.
first two spots, you can't see a
Yeah.
thing, so you're just kind of guessing, going. And I think that's gonna, eventually somebody's gonna lose, and we need to take a look at that.
So the first picture is that intersection facing the stop sign. So what Joe asked me to do is to look at putting some convex mirrors, traffic mirrors, to where the people sitting there can look and kind of see down both sides. If we put the mirrors there, they are supposed to be across the street to where, as they're sitting at the stop sign, they can look at it and see one mirror's one way, one's the other. The problem right off the bat is that it has to be no more than 35 feet from their sight line. And if you look at that house with the big S on it, that's 210 West Jackson Street, it's 65 feet just to the grass. So it's outside of the range, basically, of what those mirrors are. So I tried to look in the Department of Transportation's engineering paperwork for guidance. Indiana does not have any. Ohio doesn't have any, but I did find it in Pennsylvania. So I put a little bit, well, a page and a half from the Pennsylvania engineering manual that shows that the inherent problems of using the mirrors, and it says the car at 100 feet away in the mirror would only be 2 to 2.5 inches big. So that's at the 35 feet. So now you're almost doubling that out to 65 feet. So it'd be like a fly sitting on the mirror for them to see. It does say in the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, it says that there are no, that they would, if you was trying to put one on their state roads, you'd first have to show that there's no other viable alternatives. And so the alternatives that they're talking about is basically taking away stop sign, parking places, so that a person can pull out there further and see. They're saying redesigning, you know, the whole intersection, reversing the stop. So in other words, instead of a stop sign on Washington, it's on Jackson Street, or it's a 4-way or a 3-way stop. In other words, make everybody stop. So they're saying here that, you know, there's other options there. So just kind of wanted to.
So, in our community, I mean, it's just not this street, it's every street, right?
This one's typically bad.
Pearl's pretty bad.
Turning left on the Jackson.
Yeah. I mean, so there are multiple streets that are pretty bad. So I don't think the mirror works.
I
Plus I don't like it. So to me, you remove a couple parking spots, you make it a right-hand turn only. Or hopefully drivers in that intersection edge out. I wonder if we remove that first parking spot, if it makes a difference.
Can we do that though? Isn't that where they typically park the hearse?
Yes, that is. That is actually a handicap parking spot.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, the first one is, and that is where they park the hearse. And if you look at the other direction in front of the pool place, you know, it's their driveway, so there shouldn't be anybody parking it there anyway. If you'll see, the parking spot looking to the east starts in front of the pool place, so there is actually quite a bit of room there to look that direction. So it really looks like it's in front of the funeral home is the problem.
That's the issue for sure.
Well, any of those that you're trying to turn left on, I mean, it's,
Right.
and if it's lined with cars, it's tight.
I did notice tonight because they're having, I think, visitation, and I did notice and think to myself, wow, that's an accident waiting to happen. Cause you can't see, you inch your way out, and I was turning right, the car in front of me was turning left, and it was like, I wouldn't be doing that.
I'm lucky when I pull up there, I'm in a 3/4 ton truck and I can look over, but I do know what you're talking about. I can kind of look over and see if somebody's coming.
Other options, reduce speed from 20 to 10, 15.
I would like to look into the electronic sign,
Okay.
even if it's just some type, I can spend some time on this.
No, that's fine.
as well.
I'll reach out to,
It doesn't have to be fancy, it can be basic, even if it just gave you a red indicator light, if there was traffic coming from
Right.
this direction, it'd be helpful.
like I said, like we was talking earlier, with Jeff, I don't know how that's triggered. I don't know whether it's a motion, which probably isn't, it's probably some sort of a sensor, you would think. It would have to, because motion, a dog would be running and it'd set it off. So it almost would have to be a sensor in the pavement, but I sure don't know. I've never dealt with them, but I will look into that.
Thank you.
All right.
Chief, do you have any comments?
No, I know hardly when they have a funeral or does accident when he has taxis and all that sort of deal, but that's not a car right there.
That intersection's, from your perspective, not necessarily better or worse than any others, or if you don't know the answer, that's okay too.
As far as crashes, I don't think we ever had any crashes there.
Right.
I think a lot of people are so iffy, they kind of inch their way out. I think, like Eric said, take away a parking spot, maybe two, it would definitely help, and probably take care of the problem.
You guys think that's worse than right here? 'Cause I think no way.
Well, this is,
Way worse.
Byron Streets, yeah, I mean, that's what I mean, we have them all up and down, right?
Yeah.
It's not just one.
I don't typically come this direction because I don't like driving around bump outs. I'm messing with you.
I've got.
No, I mean, it's bad. It's not bad, you just have to be careful all through there.
Yeah.
One little piece of information, I've already reached out to Eric and let him know a few days ago. We are not able to get any salt to replenish our supply, so we are dangerously low. And basically, we're in a 10 towns and city co-op, so Carmel, they're losing their stuff over it too, because we've not been able to replenish our salt supplies. So our supplier, who is Cargill, they're promising next week. So they've hopped next week for 4 weeks now. They're still saying next week. So what we're going to be doing now is only doing intersections where people are coming up and doing stopping. We're not going to get into any of the subdivisions. They're just going to have to drive slow. That they're supposed to be driving slow anyway. So we'll just be hitting maybe the main drag of Jackson Street, Stringtown, Tollgate, intersections, and hills, and try to stretch our salt supply out as far as we can until we start getting our orders
Maybe
again.
look, do we have an event coming up, snow event coming up?
Tomorrow, isn't it?
Oh, are we?
Yes, tomorrow morning, so
Okay.
it could be. But I just wanted you to be aware, that's the reason why we're pulling back from our normal salt everything, so.
Was the school notified by chance?
No, I don't believe so.
You may want to do, well, it's probably too late now. We can figure out a way to get that information.
Right. Now, tomorrow morning, I do have guys on call, we will be hitting main drags and stop signs.
Okay.
That's where you're coming up, that way you're not sliding through, but, in between stop signs, they're gonna have to be careful and drive prudently.
Yeah.
But, I know Carmel is working on this hot and heavy, they are throwing fits to everybody, because they've actually broke their contract with us, with Cargill has, so. I know I got an email just before this meeting, and we're hoping that this log jam, and they're not even telling us why they're not delivering. They're just not delivering, so something's going on. So anyway, I just wanted you to know that if you're starting to get complaints, that's the reason we're trying not to just take one event and throw all the salt out. We're trying to just hit the known bad spots where people could slide down a hill and end up in the lake and stuff like that.
Big conservation.
Thank you very much, Larry.
Why don't you address the walkthrough that we did with the Waldo and some of those things?
Oh.
In front of Jimmy's, so everybody's aware.
Yes, you probably seen that they got the bollards up. From, they're at the pizza place, they got the 2 bollards there, we got the 2 at the fire hydrant there on Washington Street. They got the signs up for, handicap signs, so. And then we noticed down there at Jimmy's, they painted a blue line, but it's not supposed to be, but Jimmy's and in front of Erica's. They painted a blue line, but they didn't put the handicap symbol there because there's not supposed to be one there, so. We will be getting with, Keith is on vacation, so we'll be getting with him and let him know that there's a blue line, but it's not supposed to be, so.
It looks like at Jimmy's also, maybe I know you brought it up, maybe to the west side of Jimmy's, that there might need to be another spot. There's enough room for a car, it looked like.
Yes, there is, and we actually discussed that, because previously that was sort of a no parking area. But it appears that there can be another parking spot there, so where that handicap spot is, if you look how long that is, that actually can be 2 parking spots.
Okay.
And I think that's what happened when the one line that we kept talking about. And so we got down and, when they pulled out the plans, we started looking at it, it's like, wait a minute, this isn't supposed to be a handicap parking spot to start with. So they're working on getting that taken care of, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I guess one of the questions is, it used to be a no parking for some reason. They usually park there anyway. Stan usually parked there anyway, so that's all right. But it used to be no parking, so I didn't, just whatever you guys want to do. Right now, it's a parking spot, so.
Gain one of those 8 parking spots back.
There you go.
Exactly. I mean,
I guess, so people are parking there now.
yes, yeah.
So is it an issue with coming around that corner?
I don't believe so, because actually they're supposed to turn in that direction. If you look, all the parking is that direction. Now, somebody usually does go the wrong way, but it's not,
Fair point.
it's not designated as a one-way. But it definitely, by looking at it, when you see all the traffic parked one direction, you pretty well think, well, I'm probably supposed to go in this way, not coming out.
I'm good with reclaiming the parking spot.
That's fine. All right.
You guys good to
Any
reclaim
other
the
questions?
parking spot?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
But I can get it restriped.
Thank you. All right, moving along, clerk treasurer.
Guys, anybody been thinking about retreat dates? We need to get that
When did we do
scheduled.
it last year?
February, it's always in February. Ever since I've been doing it, it's been in February.
February 14th, I'm free.
That's a Saturday.
Is it really?
It is
I'm
indeed.
joking.
We know you're free in the morning.
So whatever you guys think, I'm flexible.
What do you, department heads want? Would you rather come in on a Saturday, or would you rather each one do an hour before council meeting?
Hour before council meeting, no question about it.
I guess you guys would be okay with that?
Doesn't make much difference to me as long as I'm in town.
There goes your free lunch and breakfast.
Nothing's.
And I was gonna make cinnamon rolls.
The only caveat I'll throw out to that, I think that's, if that's what department heads want to do, but you may have to shift someone if for some reason you need to have an executive session or something. That might interfere with that, so the flexibility of the department heads being aware that they may get shifted out of their slotted spot.
I mean, we could do, theoretically, if no executive sessions, we could do 3 in a month. One before staff and
Yeah.
one before each council meeting.
And historically, that would work, because we don't start working on the budget till May, so we just do it early. So that would work for me.
Or if you guys want to do a Saturday.
Don't matter to me.
Honestly, it makes no real difference to me. So.
What-
It doesn't matter to me. I can do a Saturday, but it don't matter.
Mr. Rednauer, what do you prefer?
I can do either
Hunter, do you have a
You made it
preference?
clear, you made it clear.
Mr. Frazier, do you have a preference?
I'm still trying to determine
What the retreat is.
So am I.
Department heads meet annually, they talk about what their goals are for that year, what their costs.
like each department head, but.
Yes.
Yes,
it's-
and you
everybody
get,
gets about
you
an
get
hour.
basically an hour, or
Yeah.
however much time you need.
A little bit of a recap and kind of what the next year brings.
You swing by, I'll show you what Lance has provided in the past.
And, I mean, honestly, we need to, if some people wanna do them during the week and we wanna have a Saturday for people to come in, it shortens the Saturday quite a bit too, so we can make it work from a hybrid state.
I just need to know to advertise, so whatever you guys decide, it works for me.
Okay. I'll tell you what, between now and Tuesday's council meeting, can everybody take a look at your schedules, see what your preference is, and, we'll throw some, everybody bring a few options on days. and
Perfect.
We'll go from there. From what they would prefer date-wise and for, before the council meeting, and then if we need to do a Saturday.
I'll add
And
that to
then the
the,
council typically meets as well to, kind of
Yep.
go over our strategy.
We typically do that the same day, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that needs to be a Saturday, doesn't it?
Doesn't have to
No,
be.
I guess we don't, we could do it on a.
actually, you can, Frank and Dan's are very small, you give you 30 minutes each for them, is what we historically.
Not sure how I should take that.
I think you do.
You run your department. You run your
You're so
department
efficient.
well, And you're very efficient.
You're so efficient.
I'm short.
Oh, okay.
All right, good there.
Also, we need to schedule a redevelopment commission meeting or to do the budget for, well, because we need to,
We have them?
oh, yeah, we actually did. It's new, as of last year, we had to start formally submitting a budget, and we also need to do officers for the RDC.
Okay. You just wanna do that 10 minutes before next meeting?
It'd work for me.
So Tuesday?
I can't do it Tuesday, can't advertise
Oh,
it.
you've gotta advertise it,
Yeah.
okay.
We can do it for the next one, is that okay? Unless are you thinking of an exec session at the next one or not? It'll be February,
What's Monday's holiday?
Martin Luther King
President's
Jr.
Day. No, it's
Okay.
Martin Luther King. Jr.
Martin Luther King Day.
Okay.
But
So it's sort of, I think, tends to limbo whether there would be or not.
okay, we can still do it's only a 10-minute meeting, so even if we had an exec session, we can cut the exec session
We're
short.
talking about February?
Yeah, yes, February, yeah.
No, we can't advertise.
February 3rd, I gotta advertise it.
Yeah, it's got February.
February 3rd, 6:50 work for everybody? Or
That works.
6:45?
For next Tuesday?
No, February 3rd.
February 3rd, 6:45. I'll advertise, thank you, that's all I have.
Moving along, project coordinator, Mr. Strong, 2027 CCMG.
Good evening, council. So I know we've had a continuing conversation about the community crossing matching grant and a project to submit for the 2027 round of applications, which will be sometime in July that we have to submit of this year. So to continue those conversations and get thoughts from the council on what direction you would like for us to take to pursue those, and whether, further discussion outside of what that grant opportunity might look like. So just looking for some feedback, some guidance and thoughts at this particular time, or if we've had a chance to review those. I know there's been, conversations about three or four different opportunities. I think the latest was the potential of doing from Pearl Street to potentially the Causeway.
I think we're hitting a critical point on that section of road there.
Yes.
So I would like to see that. There was discussion early on, do we go out and have a couple engineering firms come in and see what kind of aesthetically pleasing options we have available? Yes.
I'd be open to that.
That wasn't my idea. It's somebody's brought, I don't remember who brought it up, but to me, it seems like the right thing to do.
I agree. I think it needs to be done.
I like that.
Is that gonna be our focus then? I mean, what other projects do we need around town from a road standpoint, CCMG eligible stuff?
What intersection was you discussing?
Maine and Jackson.
Okay,
Right there in Alexandria.
yeah.
So
Tollgate
There are some big ones right out in front of my wife's place.
So I-
Does, the county have anything to do with toll gate in 236?
No, sir.
Oh, that's fully our intersection now?
Pardon me?
That intersection is ours now?
Yes. And then they carved out some area, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but if you go out and look at GIS, so the west side, there is some corners on that piece that I'm guessing that if there was a roundabout ever put in there, that we're probably going to be responsible for that roundabout, the way it's sort of, some of the pieces were carved out.
I mean, that's the feedback we've had in our quarterly meetings as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So keeping in mind that we'll basically have $1 million to work with. That grant opportunity used to be $1.5 million, but they did take it down to $1 million. And that would be an 80-20 match based upon population here, so we could certainly look at, you know, as Mr. Cooper suggested, from the standpoint of trying to extend that on the other side of the causeway or the bridge there and try to fix some of that as well, but it's trying to figure out what we can get done for $1 million, whether that would get us any further than the causeway and the bridge to Pearl Street or not. I don't know that I can answer today that particular question. I think it'll depend on some of that, you know, is going to be driven by cost for sidewalks, which the council, you know, that will not be potentially covered. So there's some additional dollars in there, and some of those things we'll have to look at.
Is it million, or they will give us 800,000 of $1 million? We have $1 million available that they will fund, correct?
So I believe that we can get $1 million, I believe. But I will clarify that for sure.
That's what I thought as well. But.
Is it
So
more-
1.25 million.
Pardon me?
That's what I was thinking too.
So the project could go up to 1.25 million.
Yeah.
Is it more or less competitive since they've kind of changed things a little bit than it used to be, or do we have a feel for that yet?
So it'll depend on that pool of money. So it's a little bit, I don't know that I can give you a definite answer on that, because they are trimming down the pool of money based on that Marion County, from my understanding, will get a bigger piece of that pie, because you know, they're starting to look at 4-lane highways versus just a road mileage for two-lane highways and some of those things. But it seems that there's still probably a good opportunity that we could get a grant.
I don't know where else we would get that type of money to do that intersection. Right. So the key is, I mean, you saw how fast this latest one had to turn. It essentially has to be design ready when we submit or when they approve, so that you can turn that right away.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that 90-day time frame for, you know, once we get the approval, then as Keith has mentioned, he's got a short window. So it's important that we start getting some of this information sooner than later. But then also, we're not sure what the grant timeline will be once we submit it, that we'll get it awarded or not. And as you noticed the last time, that was a short window also.
I don't remember, our engineering costs, can that be reclaimed out of the grant?
No, sir, that's outside.
I mean, I agree that that intersection's a problem. We all know it's a problem. I mean, I like the idea of getting, you know, a few different firms, engineering firms, ideas on how they would solve the issues. Seeing which one we like the best. I'd be open to getting some creativity there. That's what
I agree.
So,
Okay, so you would like for us to start looking for potential firms, or is that something the council wants to do?
if you guys got the time and you know who to call to do it, if we have a history of people we've talked to before about it, that would be helpful.
Sure.
But if you need us to jump in, we can certainly help.
Sure. I just wanted to make sure that we understood what you wanted us to do, so we weren't dropping the ball on our end, so.
Is it Pearl to the Causeway? Is that what you said?
I think at this particular point, I'd be looking at Pearl to the causeway, but also then maybe reviewing some of the area on the other side of the bridge and the causeway. That might need some additional work, and if we can fit that into the budget potentially,
Perfect.
if I heard that correctly.
That's what I heard.
So am I understanding right, that intersection at Main and Jackson is a focal point?
It is, yeah. Finish the pavement as well from Corolla to there. But
Gotcha,
yeah,
okay.
I mean, that would be the minimum we could do, is finish, revamp that intersection and
I like that.
And I don't think it'll be a case that that intersection is going to get recreated, because I don't think the dollar opportunity there. I know, when we looked at a mini roundabout there years ago, that was well over $1 million, and I'm sure that's far exceeded that. So I think the scope of the work is try to make it look similar to what the rest of East Jackson looks like. So it looks more of a complete, plus it's also to repair the rest of the road and get those sidewalks in there, and try to widen those through the process also.
and then something with sidewalks where you push them out away from the crosswalks away from the intersection. I know you guys talked about bumps, speed bumps,
Yes.
whatever you call them, sidewalk going across the bump previously.
Traffic calming.
Yeah. Here-
crosswalk, I think is the term we're looking for.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, Harrison?
Thank you.
I mean, I'm not completely sure what you do. I mean, do you interface with a lot of engineering firms?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, we were publicly posting for RFQs for designer teams, have them present ideas to you, and then you select, just like we did for the comp plan.
Okay.
Like a RFP for contractors for public bidding, we do the same thing for a design team.
Time to do that?
So you'll have probably, I think about 30 days and probably the process of doing the RFQs or the RFPs. And then if you do the interviewing process, I would say you'll be looking through the whole process, I'm guessing about 45 to 60 days, probably 60 days. So it's going to be cutting it tight.
What if we,
But we certainly have done that in the past as well.
You
so.
steal all their ideas, and then you can combine, I mean,
Sure.
you get all their ideas, and you pick which one, and you pick the firm two, to combine all three or four, and the best out of all of them.
I mean, if we reached out, if there were 3, 4, 5 that we just reached out to, I mean, do you have a feeling if, sorry to pick on you, but do you have a feeling if a lot of them would respond? If we just reached out instead of doing RFPs?
They probably would, yeah. You might get more people just for the size not doing RFPs. It's only like 1.25 million. People are busy, so I would look for smaller designers if you have them. I mean, shoot some over, I'd be happy to.
You wouldn't mind doing that, it'd be appreciated.
Yeah, do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving along to Parks Department, grant writing contract. Trev?
I forgot about that, so, I guess I've met with Amy several more times over the last couple of months. We've applied for the 2 arts grants. We're still waiting to hear back from that. Dan and I still have a lot of questions and concerns moving forward about, whether or not it's a good thing to do or not, but I think at least I for myself have come to a point where I think the only way we're going to know, and have any level of comfort with Amy and the grant writing process and what she can obtain for us is to go ahead and sign a 1-year contract and commit to it, and hope that she does well for us, and we'll just continue to pose questions and talk to her as we go through this process. But I think we need to give it a year process and go through it and see what happens. Now, that's assuming that Rhonda's still willing to pay that first year of
No.
fees.
How much was it again?
It was $2,000 a month, so $24,000 for the year.
And
Say going in that she thought
timelines involved, and the way the grants come to fruition, and some of them don't come up till spring. She's already told us not to plan on a lot of results in the first quarter, the first few months, because a lot of these grants we'll start applying for them now, and it'll be 3 or 4 or 6 months down the road. So that we shouldn't expect a lot of positive results and things early, but hopefully we'll progress through that and be able to secure some grants. But I feel like the only way to do this is to give her a chance and commit to a year, and we'll reevaluate it constantly as we go. Dan, do you have anything to add to that, or?
No, I would agree. I mean, keep talking to her, and I think in regards to, she keeps having opportunities, but she's making us aware that we probably are gonna see the results a little bit further down the road, but she has a lot of preliminary work that, she would like the town to engage with her, so she can start putting those things in place to have those opportunities later. So I think that's what we landed on, that probably best course of action is to do a contract with for a year to see how it all works out, what opportunities she can bring forward, and then we can make more of a fact-based decision if you want to continue down that road or not later.
She willing to sign up for a 6-month term, or if that doesn't give enough time to get feedback on grants?
I don't know that that would give us enough time to really accomplish much or get much back in terms of results. I could ask.
We paid her, what did we pay her? To write?
A couple thousand?
It
2,000.
seems like it, yeah.
That was her
2,000
analysis, right?
to do the initial analysis, which I was very impressed with that initial analysis and the meetings we had with her, and there's a lot of opportunities in that packet that report that she sent back to us.
I met with her last fall. I was impressed. I tend to agree with Mr. Hunter. I think the only way we're gonna know is to give it a shot. Last thing I wanna do is spend $24,000 and not get a result. And I don't think that would be the case, but it's certainly a risk. But I certainly think there's value in folks like her. I did tell her when I met with her that if we decide to go forward with this, we can only get results from her if we engage with her, right? Like, we have to feed her information, we have to, give her thoughts and ideas on what our needs are, and so somebody's gotta be committed to that. And Dan, you're in a good position because you have a lot of visibility, but you also have a lot on your plate, right? So, to ask you to add that, I don't know. But I'm supportive. I just wanna make sure if we bring her on, that we invest the time to give her what she needs to try to be effective.
Well, and I certainly can invest that time from the park standpoint, but there's a lot of the other topics and grants and opportunities that other people will need to help with.
I think we can continue to share the other grant opportunities that we want to pursue. I know she has some thoughts for each of the departments based upon some of the feedback that they gave her, but then also some of the information that we've given her in our meetings of potential grant opportunities that we would think that would benefit the town outside of the parks. So I think she is getting that feedback, and I think she would continue to get that ongoing feedback, to your point, because there will be potential grant opportunities. She's spoken a little bit about some public safety things, some things with the fire department, a little bit with planning. So I think there'll be some opportunities along the way.
I'm okay for trying.
How are we paying for that? Your budget or his?
What do you ours?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he could. No
So
offense.
what is the town council budget?
What is it?
How much do we have?
In what?
Town council.
What?
Town
Town council
council
budget.
budget.
Contingency, 100,000, 50,000, 100,000. I don't have the budget with me, but I think if you want to take it from council's budget, I would probably
Right.
consider that.
I think that's the right place for it to come
Okay,
I think so too.
council budget?
We're gonna say that by not having breakfast, right?
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Anyone have anything else?
I have one quick item. Has anybody talked about House Bill 1001? You guys talked about that? Just want to bring it to your attention. I haven't read the whole thing, so, I've just heard chatter. I'm going to read the whole thing. The synopsis, well, here's what it says. Like, it's about housing, and it's changing, the ability of local units of government to, manage and set standards for housing, is what it does. For example, if it's a commercial district, mixed-use residential development is automatically permitted. So it does things like that. It basically says, it makes things automatic. There was one that would be very concerning, I think, to us.
Wait a second, you're saying it just happens and we no
Yes,
longer have control?
correct.
Automatically allows certain housing types without a local hearing, such as single-family homes and townhouses in residential zones, accessory dwellings, units, ADUs inside single-family homes.
It talks about, prohibits a unit, so a local unit, from regulating design elements of residential structures. My assumption is AIM is all over this, but I wanted you all to be aware. Prohibits a unit, again us, from imposing requirements on lot sizes, densities, setbacks, building bulk on certain lots.
Who authored that?
It's,
Timothy
1001.
O'Brien,
It's
Doug
the
Miller.
first House bill.
Jeez.
Who's the author?
Doug Miller, Representative Doug Miller and Timothy O'Brien and Tony Isa.
Again, I haven't read the whole thing. I'm not taking a position on it yet because I'm going to read it, but,
You said Tony Moon.
Sorry,
Tim Moon.
Tim
Timothy O'Brien and Tony Isa, ISA.
I don't have an opinion because I'm going to read it, but what I have heard is that the arguments are housing's too expensive, there's not enough housing, and there is people who feel like some of the causes of that are cities and towns applying too many regulations on housing that's causing housing not to be built. That's the argument that I've been told is kind of behind this. I think, I was told there's also language in here that further restricts / tightens the uses of like things like impact fees. Again, I haven't dug into it yet.
Just gonna point that out. I was gonna say something part to that, puts restrictions on impact fees.
It's something we need to pay attention to, and again, I'm sure AIM is probably our best resource on understanding what's going on.
That's Doug Miller.
I'll reach out to AIM tomorrow and forward any information I can get.
West side.
So there's one that says restricting what local governments can regulate unless they opt out by ordinance.
See, I'm not taking a position because I haven't read the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
just
maybe
reading.
there are ways that we can,
I'm just reading highlights.
yeah. I've just had people mention it to me as a concern for local government, so.
Okay. Thank you for that. Does anybody else have anything?
I have an answer in specialty care.
Oh, yeah, fire away.
Specialty care is any ambulance that transports above the paramedic curriculum. We don't do anything but paramedic curriculum currently, so it's in practice. So it'd be like a doctor or a specialty treatment, we would exceed what a paramedic can do, which is like riding and things like that. So we don't have anything like that currently, so it wouldn't be any impact on us at all.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you for
Thank you
clarifying.
so much. Anybody else? Anybody in the audience? All right. If not, I'll entertain a
So
motion.
moved.
Second.
Second.